Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Friday Night Magic tournament. It's Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia, as I remember to turn off my computer's audio. We're having a little bit of problems already tonight. The internet here was not working for basically the majority of the time I was trying to set up the equipment, so I am running way behind. I'm also by myself tonight, so you'll have to forgive me as I try and square everything up and commentate at the same time. That, of course, is why they pay me the big bucks. Now, we have got a treat for you tonight. Treat for you tonight right off the bat. Round one matchup. On the left, those of you who have played at the shop before or visited the shop in any fashion know this gentleman well. That is shop manager J.B. Roberts, playing in tonight's event. He's playing a junk Reanimator deck, I believe. And his opponent in from college this holiday break, Casey Skibbe. And he is playing a very interesting bug Runechainer's Pike deck that's using Quirion Dryads, Snapcasters, Unsummons, Forbidden Alchemies, Grizzly Salvage to power up huge Quirion Dryads and then stick Pikes on creatures. It's actually pretty interesting here. The mana base, we talked about a little bit beforehand. The mana base is a little suspect, but it's coming. But once it gets going, it's pretty good. Grizzly Salvage is pretty brutal in this deck, so should be interesting. Like I said, I apologize for the slow start and for the solo commentary, but we will get things going here soon enough, I'm sure. So let's take a check of the game so far. Looks like Casey is stuck on, well, not stuck, but stuck on no action, I should say, while JB has accelerated with an Arbor Elf and then resolved a mulch. An old mulch, the way it should be. So drops down to 18 there on with the untapped Overgrown Tune. So I'm not sure what he's serving up. Unburial Rites, which is going to get syncopated. I cannot see exactly what's in the bin, but it looks like Angel of Serenity seems to be the majority of his reanimation targets. And so Casey runs out, that's a Golgari key rune, the green-black mana accelerator, and then uses that to lay down a Pike. And there comes Angel of Serenity back. Doesn't look like there's any targets to trigger. Is that another Angel in his graveyard? I'm not sure if it is or not, but if it is, he could have targeted that. But I could be misreading that. For those of you watching on the stream live, feel free to spread the proverbial word, as we are a little bit slow tonight. Have not had my normal prep times in terms of tweets and Facebook notices and various advertisements, so feel free to spread the word as best you can while we try to salvage this FNM. So JB with an Arbor Elf and an Angel of Serenity with nothing tucked away. Just going to go on the beatdown plan and get in for 6. Lands another Absence Pilgrim, or another Mana Accelerant, I should say. So another Pike. He's not going to have enough mana to equip both of them, because he's sticking it on the key rune. And it's only going to get in for 1 additional damage, as it only has the single Syncopate in his yard. So let's talk a little bit of business here while they're slogging through this first game. We're doing the math real quick. 39 players in tonight's FNM. You'll remember last week we had 48, 1 table shy of 50, which was an all-time high for the shop. which is obviously great to see. But as we were talking with JB earlier tonight, if 39 people is the new normal or low attendance week for the shop, that is clearly a good spot to be in. So thanks to everyone who came out tonight. I don't know why I'm thanking them, because surely none of them are listening to this, but if they are watching after the fact, we appreciate everyone who's supporting us locally, and of course we always appreciate those of you who watch us every week, both on YouTube and live, supporting our stream from this broom closet in the middle of nowhere, West Virginia. So, Angel of Serenity, Reanimated, gets the game, or gets the job done, I should say, in Game 1. So JB moves up a game in this round 1 matchup. And while these gentlemen are sideboarding, I'd like to take this time, as I always do throughout we've been doing this the 17th week. We have fired off this FNM stream to you guys, so seems like doesn't seem like it's been over 4 months, but sure enough it is. But we want to thank, as always, the folks here at Lost Legion, JB himself, and the owners and the other people that work here for letting us come in here every week and set up our equipment and make them number the tables and have to walk over our cables and things like that. We definitely appreciate them being so hospitable for us and letting us do this. So if you can return that favor, if you're ever in the local West Virginia regional area, you can support them. One of their 4 locations in Parkersburg, South Charleston, Princeton, or Beckley, specializing not just in Magic, but in other card games, board games, miniatures, and comics. So support your local game store and support Lost Legion games. If you're watching on YouTube, try to check us out live next week. Every week, Friday Night Magic, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/ZachSalesMagic is the place to go for that. So, thanks to them, thanks to you guys, thanks to anybody who'll take it. Whoops. It's quiet in here. I did see Michael Taylor out there running around, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to come in and co-commentate. I think he is leaving a little bit early, so hopefully when someone finishes up, we will get somebody in here so we can have a little bit of dialogue. I'm sure that you're enjoying the dulcet tones of my voice, but it's always better when we can have a little bit of back and forth. So let's take a quick look through the pairings tonight, see who made the trip out, what stream regulars you might be familiar with. A question in the chat about, did we break the 40-player streak? In fact, we did. 39 people. We are 1 short, so we missed the 6th, I think 6 weeks it ends. 6 weeks of 40-plus players. We break the streak by 1 person. I probably should have donated $5 and just thrown my name in the hat just to break the barrier, but let's see, Jordan Peccho's here playing 5-color control. Brandon Hart's here playing Esper. Joe Lewis is back. He's missed several weeks. He's playing green-white aggro. John Dunlap's playing Rakdos Beatdown. The guys from WV are back in, so Justin Sayer, Casey Skibbe, Nick Reed, they're all here playing a variety of decks. Adam Vickers, the local legend, he's in the field tonight playing playing American Midrange. Yen-shyang is here playing Jund Control. And more importantly, I'll tell you this right now, not just 1, but 2 copies of Red-Black Curses in the field. Both Adrian Mullins, who played on camera last week and debuted that archetype, and also Joseph Deal has put his take on Curses together. So we should be able to get one of those in here. Both the Wright brothers are here. Brett Rose is here. The Ellingtons are here. Lots of people that you're familiar with, including Brandon Hodge. Brandon Hodge has not been here in a while. You may remember him from top 8ing the West Virginia State Tournament. I believe he top 4'd the West Virginia State Tournament that we broadcast earlier this year. So he is here playing Naya. Looks like JB is resolving a mulligan. As you hear me take a long, hard pull off this Orange Crush. Looks like JB has found 6 cards that he's content with, and we are off to the races here. in Game 2 of Round 1. 5 rounds of Swiss tonight, followed by a top 8. It's the way we've done it every week for the last 2 months, I believe. So, Casey's deck has some aggressive draws, but the mana is kind of wonky. Not too many of his lands come into play untapped. He's sitting back on this Syncopate. We saw him draw a... well, that's not true entirely. He may have not have an untapped green source, as he does have a Lot with Troll in his hand. JB plays a Arbor Elf, which he obviously just drew. Otherwise, it would have come down much earlier. And there we do see the aforementioned Lot with Troll with mana up to regenerate. And we'll see how aggressive Casey wants to get with that during his next turn. What's interesting about the Lot with Troll, other than just being a good beater in and of itself, has some synergy with Runechanter's Pike, as you can bin instance at your choosing, grow your Pike, as well as having some synergies with Snapcaster Mage, which he's also playing, which will allow him to get those spells back. Yeah, we had some low numbers tonight, and I was curious as to why that was. Then I remembered that the Star City Invitational was tonight, so tonight's going to be pretty much a wash. So I appreciate those of you who are sticking with us, our dedicated few, but looks like it will be low numbers for tonight's broadcast. I wish I had realized that earlier, because there's a good chance I might have taken the week off. But nevertheless, I'm here. Let's do this. So, Lot with Troll grabs a Rancor and starts pounding in for damage. No activations off the discard. As JB continues to struggle somewhat to find some action. All this mana and nothing to do with it. He can hard cast a Angel of Serenity here. Or he can Abrupt Decay the... I assume he's Abrupt Decaying the... I think he Abrupt Decayed the Rancor, which he now realizes is probably not the not the best of plays, as it will simply go back to Casey's hand. And Casey's going to Thought Scour himself, revealing Ultimate Price and Drowned Catacomb. Dissipate off the top from Casey. It's going to take 2 off its Overgrown Tomb. Replay the Rancor. And pound back in. So, JB struggling slightly to come up with any kind of business. Not sure what's in his hand. Casey going to resolve an Alchemy. Here's where we see the power of Alchemy with the Pike. You can potentially put 3 cards in the bin there. Overgrown Tomb, another Thought Scour, and a Lot with Troll. Hit the graveyard. Now Casey can basically sit back on his counter magic. I know he has at least a Syncopate and a Dissipate in his hand. So very unlikely whatever JB is trying to cast will resolve. It's amazing how much the viewership changes from week to week based on who else is broadcasting. So, if Travis Wu's streaming, we usually get about 80 to 100. Apparently, if Star City is broadcasting, we get 15. If neither of them broadcasting, we get almost 200, which is what we got last week. So, keeping us grounded. JB's going to resolve a mulch here. He's going to whiff, but he is going to fill his graveyard with some business. There is an Angel of Serenity. Of course, as we know, Casey's sitting back on not 1 but 2 counter spells, one of which is a hard counter and Dissipate. So unlikely that that angel will see play off on burial rights anytime soon. So Casey piles in again with the troll. Puts JB dead on board should he fail to block for some reason. But of course the Lawless Troll does have trample, which is something a lot of people forget. So there's the front half of Burial Rites. Removed from game off the Dissipate, very relevant that both of the counter spells that Casey's playing are super good against the Reanimator deck, as both of them exile upon resolution. Deathrite Shaman off the top. So if Casey can come up with 2 creatures here, he can discard to the Troll. JB going to float the mana. Casey will pound in, and once he gets blocks, he'll... got some action here. Oh, Restoration Angel gets syncopated, and Casey will discard his Deathrite Shaman to his Lawless Troll. Trample over for the win. No, I'm not sure what happened there. I think Casey syncopated for the wrong amount. Actually, I think it was as simple as that. So the bug deck squares this one up. We are at 1 game apiece. And as the chat says, the faithful few that are watching us, may just be 15 people, but they are 15 of the best. It is pretty rewarding in the 4 months that we've been doing this, have established some relationships with people, both on Facebook and in the stream chat. So it is good to see some regulars continually supporting us. I'm sure there are much better things to be watching and surely much better things to doing, and the fact that you take the time out of your busy schedule to watch imaginary wizard fights from this small store in this lesser-known state is obviously appreciated. So game 3 between the Reanimator deck and the very interesting Bug Pike deck coming up for you. Since I've got nothing better to do and there's no Michael Taylor to make fun of, why don't we tell you guys, especially those who are watching on YouTube after the fact, if you want to help support the stream, there are tons of ways you can do it, and none of them are going to cost you a red cent. Most importantly, well, I guess not most importantly, but one of the important things you can do, go to YouTube, youtube.com/ZachSellsMagic. Everything we have ever recorded is cut up and uploaded on there, so you can watch any of the events you've missed in the past online at your discretion. Make sure to subscribe to us there, and feel free to click on an ad or two and shoot some ad sharing revenue our way. Follow me on Twitter at ZachSellsMagic, at ZachSellsMagic, singular, no S on that. It will, I'll give you links and updates throughout the week, as well as information on our weekly giveaways, and I'll do an announcement before every round to let you know what the matchup is in case you want to check it out. Also, check us out on Facebook.com or if you /ZachSellsMagic, or if you go to ZachSellsMagic.com, it will redirect you there. That's the main way you can support our store and our stream, and help spread the word there. And obviously, if you're watching on Twitch, you know where the stream is, but click on the follow button to the top and left of the video window. That will help our numbers, and they will send you an email notification anytime our stream goes live. So if you could help us out with those, we'd greatly appreciate it. Go to our Facebook page. We got daily content, links to things, pictures, videos, articles, discussions. You can get your trade on there. It is a great place to interact with those people that you see on the stream every week. So that is also the easiest way for us to spread the word. So if you could help us out with that, I'd surely appreciate it. We are going to game 3 here. Looks like JB is mulled yet again. He's on 6 cards. It leads with an Overgrown Tomb. So JB with the turn 2 mulch. Puts an Unburial Rites in the bin. Not sure what that other card is, but he nets 2 lands off the mulch. Seems pretty good to me. I think it's an Avacyn's Pilgrim that was in the yard. Does for some reason, not sure what's going on there, but hopefully it will come back soon enough. Apologies for those technical difficulties. It may just not be in the books for us tonight. Hopefully it came back. Every week at 7 o'clock, the wireless connection drops. One of these days, I will get this. So Tormod's Crypt, because I'm now joined by Brandon Hodge. Brandon, did you win?
Yeah, I sure did, 2-0.
Are you playing, you're borrowing a Naya deck tonight?
I did. Deck I never played before. Really like the way it runs. A lot of pressure.
Did you bonfire everyone's dreams away?
I did not. I saw bonfire in my opening, and then never played it.
Last week, Brandon top 4'd, I think, with that deck. Brandon Hart. He just thundermauled everyone.
Yeah, it's a really super good card.
So let me fill you in what's going on here, Brandon. We are watching Game 3 of beloved shop manager J.B. Roberts, who's actually playing in FNM tonight. He's playing Junk Reanimator. He won the first one and got nothing going on in the second game. He is playing against Casey Skibbe. He's one of our regulars who goes to WVU. So he's in for the holidays. He's playing a very interesting bug deck.
Pike?
Yeah, he showed me earlier tonight. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know what it's technically called.
A lot like control with a Pike on it?
And he's playing Grizzly Salvage.
Wow.
So it's like counter spells and thought scours. It's basically, it has Korean Dryads too. Mm-hmm. It's basically like a Delver list, just without Delvers.
Delver.
And he's playing a lot with Troll and Grizzly Salvage.
Interesting. That's spicy.
It's pretty fun. Casey admitted when he showed it to me that the mana is kind of terrible because very few things come into play untapped. But
yeah, that was obviously my first reaction when I saw Bug Pike. Is the mana base for Bug is just not standard right now.
Yeah, you can get there, kind of.
Wait for Gate Crash.
It's just going to be 5-color good stuff. Every deck is just going to be a splash for anything. Once Gate Crash comes out, were you playing around the original Ravnica?
Oh yeah.
So was it basically just the Wild West in that regard?
Not a ton of linear.
Mm-hmm. So in response to Unburial Rites, Casey's going to blow up the Tormod's Crypt. JB clearly you're going to have to run into the crypt at some point, so just blow it now and try to rebuild. Or just have mono Tormod's Crypts. Seems good.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about what's going on, Brandon. Outside of the actual game, there are only 16 people watching. You might be asking yourself, Zach, that seems low. Haven't you been averaging 150 to 180 the last few weeks? But then you remember that the Star City Games Invitational is this week, and they are streaming currently in Los Angeles. So that's where all the...
Who wants to watch the best players in the country play? That's ridiculous.
I don't want to watch...
I bet they don't see Bug Pike.
I never want to watch them play Standard. I will watch them play on Sundays. I guess it is a multi-format event, but I'm just bitter because all of our Magic viewers are. Trust me, Pete Hoffling has enough money. You don't need to watch him.
Over under on the Invitational, 200 Thrag Tusks in the field.
I don't know.
Oh, I'd say that's safe to say.
In the field, yeah. There's going to be like 400 people playing in it? 300 or 400? I guess you can only play it in one format, though. Mm-hmm. Thought Scour on myself, says Casey. Ben's an Alchemy and another relevant card, I can't remember.
JB seems like he's really on the back foot right now.
Well, he does have a Fold the Archangel, for whatever that's worth. He's going to force Casey to regenerate, I guess. Grizzly salvage in response? Doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, it's Gary Charm. All of these gold cards look the same. How am I supposed to know what they do? So this might be it. 2 creatures, a Rancor, a Pike. All of these things win the game for Casey. And that, in fact, is a Pike. And that, in fact, should be the game.
Should we have any answers for a Pike? I mean, Junk Reanimator wouldn't...
Yeah, he has Abrupt Decay. He made decks those. At least one of them. He used it in game 1. But don't think it matters at this point. As could not get anything going through 2 Tormod's Crypts, it looked like. That's a problem with Reanimator. Reanimator is a combo deck, and sometimes it just doesn't do anything. There are no more dramatic losses in the game of Magic than
Rest in Peace is a real card.
Yeah, it's pretty
that card
good.
Exists.
It is pretty good, and it does exist, and it is in sideboards that I've seen even tonight. So that's the problem when using it. Well, I mean, it's the give and take, right?
I mean, metagamed right now, I mean, you have to metagame for what you're going to be playing against, and a lot of people here I've seen play the Reanimator decks.
They do,
and even like a great choice.
And even Rest in Peace, it has incidental value against a lot of decks.
And that's what you see a lot of people playing right now are doing, is, they get their deck off the internet, they web deck, which we all do. I don't act like we don't. Mm-hmm. But they'll keep the exact sideboard. What you need to realize is those people that you're getting the sideboard off Starship games
against very good players.
They're metagaming against some of the best in the world.
Yes, they are doing that. And it's also funny because there people will bring a net deck list in and they'll have a card in the sideboard and you'll be like, what matchup's that for? I don't know.
I have no idea. It's what Jerry Thompson told me to put in the sideboard.
You know what card Core Firewalker is good against, but some of them are a little bit more difficult. I am going to take a break. I'm going to step outside and see if I can find another match to slot under here. We do have 20 minutes left, so should be able to find somebody else.
I will try to fill dead airspace. Sure. But it's like we were talking earlier. People just need to realize, Jerry Thompson, when he plays the Blue-White Flash, his sideboard is for a very particular metagame. Star City Games has 2.3 thousand viewers. Well, who needs that many people watching? Once again, guys, this is the FNM at Lost Legion Games and Comics from beautiful Charleston, West Virginia. You're going to see, you can watch the invitationals, you can watch the Star City Games, and I'm by no means dragging them. They run a flawless, web viewing experience for people. But when you watch places like FNM, you're going to see decks you don't get to see very often, and you may catch an idea. I mean, you absolutely will. You look at Jerry Thompson's Blue-White Flash deck, you're going to see that deck a whole lot. You're not going to see it as much here in an FNM, but you'll get to see Bug Pike. Where else can you see something like that? So as Zach's out trying to get another match under the camera, we'll see if that filters out, because like you said, we do have a good amount of time left on the round.
We got it.
We got another one.
We do.
Outstanding.
So all 3 people that are watching us. I told them I was a little bit bitter because I got okay, let me tell you the unsolicited story about my non-magic life. So I got company coming in this weekend. Mm-hmm. I host Christmas party with all my friends that I've known and still hang out with since like elementary school. You know what I mean? Like those 3 or 4 couples that you've known forever.
Right.
So a Christmas party every year. That is tomorrow. So all this week, my wife has been cooking, and all this week we've been cleaning and shopping. So I am beat, is what I'm trying to tell you. And I've got, like 10 people showing up at my house.
Well, I mean, at least you're lucky the fact that you can talk about your wife cooking being a good thing. I mean, my wife just learned. I mean, when we first got married, like, her meatloaf was featured on Fear Factor. Like, it was rough.
I feel like, I don't know if I want to be associated with these are incriminating comments.
It's okay, because it's not okay. And I say that because, like most people that play Magic, my significant other has no idea what the game is and definitely will not be viewing right now. So I can say these.
Carte blanche.
Yeah, and if any of you know are out there, this is what we like to call opportunity for blackmail.
But anyway, I have not missed a week in 17 weeks. Wow. This week, between the technical difficulties, we've already lost the stream once. I could not get the internet working earlier. My computer was being a grade A jackass. We're competing with a 2,200 person corporate stream.
But they don't have Bug Pike.
They don't. Neither do these two gentlemen. On the left, it's Yen-shyang, playing his very unique Jun control deck. He's been on here a million times, including the Star City Games Invitational Qualifier that he top-8'd. He's playing against Alec Myers, who is playing American Midrange. It's actually like American Flash, but I call it Midrange.
That's fair enough. I mean, there's not a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Just to the viewers out there, I'll talk about the Naya deck once this round's over. I don't want to, disrespect these players by talking about my deck during their match.
Well,
It's just rude. But I'll definitely, give some insight into the deck.
it is pretty good. It's basically just every good card in those colors.
It's Naya good deck. That's what we'll call it.
So, here's what's happened in this match. Nothing. Yin tried to accelerate out a Rakdos Key Rune. That meant a negate, which I'm glad to see in play. I'm a huge advocate of a singleton negate in these control decks.
I'm a huge advocate for anybody that comes to FNM dressed like Tseng does.
He is, normally he shows up in a suit and tie because Yen is a lawyer.
It's Casual Friday.
Today he's wearing a very dapper trench coat. Okay, so I've talked about this before on camera, and Alec knows about it as well. Alec plays really quickly.
Yes,
like
he
his
does.
mechanics are very difficult, so I will, or not difficult, but it'll be difficult for me to keep up with. So I will do my best to.
It's really tough for me too because we're kind of watching on two different screens. Mine has a little bit of delay.
Yeah, you should watch on this one. This
Yeah,
this is a trap that many a co-commentator fall into. Is that when I keep up so that we can monitor the chat,
Which is fair enough.
and then.
Pretty much all Alec has done so far is counter and play Forbidden Alchemy.
Yes. Well, he played Sphinx's Revelation. And then Rakdos Return got
Restoration Angel
dissipated.
ENT.
We're just
Straight into
trading.
ultimate price.
We're just trading. Here's what you need to know about Yen's deck. I'm not sure if you've seen it before or familiar with it. He has every removal spell ever. His removal deck. There is
Is that a whiff?
No, it's a terminus
Oh, okay.
off of the Augur of Bolus. Yeah. Abrupt Decay on Detention Sphere at end of turn should bring back the Vampire Nighthawk, right? And there, in fact, he is. Yin mainboards all of his Nighthawks. His engine is Underworld Connections. He plays 3 of those in his main deck, and then has a substantial
The
light game suite.
swing with Nighthawk, respawn with into Thragtusk is just good. It's just good in the game of Magic.
I would not complain about it.
It is
I
just
agree.
good in the game of Magic right now.
So Alec up against it here. And we see an appearance of another one of his boring things. Garrett knows. They're from another game. Is there a game called Ragnarok?
I have no idea.
It's like
If anybody knows out there, let us know if
it's
there's
like
a game called Ragnarok.
It's like his calling card. One is called Pouring. I inadvertently called them once Pokemon, and that was
Oh Lord.
met with great disdain from Yen and the chat that night.
There is a game called Ragnarok.
I believe those are characters from that game. So, a Blood Crypt, untapped. I don't know what that is. Oh, is it Staff of Nin? I think that's an original art Staff of Nin. Staff of Nin is one of those cards where I'm only familiar with the promo. Let me confirm that. Low tech. Hey, Yen.
Here, I'll check it out.
Okay. I think that's a staff. I'm pretty sure it is.
It was in fact Staff of Nin.
Okay. I think that may be, without joking, the second non-promo Staff of Nin I've ever seen in my life. So the thing we know here is that Alec does in fact have a Terminus in his hand, because he got that off of the Augur of Bolus previously. Did he have to discard that to Rakdos Return?
I believe so.
Okay. So he's digging for an answer here. So we're going to...
That seems good right now for him.
So he's going to take 2.
With negate off of the auger.
Mm-hmm.
And Veraska. Getting back his staff of Nin. Yeah, Alec is really up against the wall right now.
Well, piking up his angel helps. It's huge. It's probably a 2-turn clock, and it will help him deal with the Yen's creatures because he has first strike, but the likelihood of that Pike not getting vindicated, or Maelstrom pulsed, or whatever you want to call it, from Vraska's minus ability. What did he do originally? Did he no mercy it, or...
What is it?
When he played Vraska, did he up her?
Yeah, Veraska blew up what it was. It was detaining the staff in him.
Oh, the detention sphere.
Yeah, Veraska destroyed the detention sphere, getting the staff in him back.
I, like a very good coverage commentator, was checking out a text on my phone.
And that is okay. That's why I'm here. When I can.
19. So Yen in control here. He's going to draw 1,000,000 cards off the staff. He has a Nighthawk to deal with. Well, that doesn't work actually because of first strike.
The first strike.
But Yen has a ton of removal. All of his removal is sorcery speed, which makes it difficult in this matchup. But is it charm looting? Loot mode initiated. Discarding a Terminus.
Discard a Terminus?
Yeah, so
that would make me think he has another one in hand.
There should be something saucy then. He's going to think twice as well.
Not a lot of times you have your opponent's got you against the wall that hard and you discard Terminus without having another one in hand. Or maybe, well, obviously he wouldn't if he did if he had Snapcaster.
Tapping 4 now. For Olivia. The gate will not answer Olivia.
Creature where its knee should not be.
Yeah, there was one week where we brought up the Olivia art and did an in-depth...
And I have literally YouTubed that and shown it to friends.
It is awkward. I think it ultimately...
How did that get through?
Well, ultimately what I think...
There it is.
Yeah, ultimately what I think happened is
Reset button.
I believe the story is that there was a... like the art director didn't like the way it looked and so demanded it be changed, but not in a way that made any sense.
The feet were originally up front. They demanded that they move back, but they didn't move the knee.
As I understand it, the artist changed the painting to reflect the notes he was given, but you know, he was just doing what he was told.
Does Alec have more than Hunt in play?
He has. I see a Desolate Lighthouse.
That seems really good.
And so he's going to use his staff and then to trade the beast token with the...
Is there any way you can bring up staff in him?
I can. Draw an extra card and do 1 damage to something. I'm going to have to upgrade my computer at some point.
If Alec has more than Hunt, he's in a very good position. It's really hard for me to tell.
Well, I forgot. He's playing Midnight Hauntings, so he's in pretty good shape now as it is. Especially since Yen tapped his Staff of Nin. The staff will be, if he can survive this hit, he'll be fine, but if he... Not sure how big that staff is. Zoria's Charm... Did he even draw his card off of staff? Not sure at what point we're... Oh, I understand now. He life-linked his dudes.
Oh, big swing.
During your upkeep, draw a card and do 1 damage to something for 6 mana. Pretty dramatic change in life totals there.
Pretty, seems like an irrelevant drag tusk here.
Well,
You don't get to say that very often.
did he gain the life?
Yeah, he's at 36 now.
No, did Yen gain life off his Thragtusk?
I believe so. No, because he was at 30, took the swing, put him to 8. Don't believe he did.
I will be perfectly honest with you. There have been so many life changes in the last few minutes that I have no idea.
This speed of play makes it so hard to follow, too.
I'm just going to assume that they know what they're doing. So, end of turn Restoration Angel means that Yen cannot Staff of Nin away the creature carrying the Pike. Alec's, like, almost entire library is in his graveyard. That's a giant Pike. Yen with just one card in his hand. Unfortunately, almost all of his removal is sorcery speed. He does play Ultimate Price, but I'm not sure how many of those he plays.
And with the things that Alec's been discarding, you have to think he's got some control magic in his hand.
Yep.
And there it is.
Well, that was a Devil's Play. Devil's Play for several. Looks like could have been as many as 10, followed by an attack for at least 2, at least 5, so at least 15. So as long as the Pike was good for 7, which if there's any certainties in the world, it's the fact that there were at least 7 instants or sorceries in Alec's graveyard. As I once again fool around on my phone, because I'm a grown man. Alright, so it's 3 minutes left to go in the round. We're not getting another match. You are going to get, however, another plug for Lost Legion Games and Comics in beautiful downtown South Charleston, West Virginia, specializing in not just Magic, but miniatures, other card games, board games, and comics. 4 convenient locations in the greater West Virginia area: Parkersburg, South Charleston, Princeton, and Beckley. Support them if you're ever in this neck of the woods. Good prices, great people. And more importantly, thanks to them for letting us hijack their FNM every week, broadcasted on the internet. 6:30 p.m. Eastern every Friday night. Come hell or high water. Twitch.tv/ZachSellsMagic is the place to go. You know, I do all that at the end of the round, expecting anybody on YouTube to eventually check it out. And can I see your deck box?
Sure.
But what's in reality has happened is I know that no one on YouTube ever watches past like the first game.
Right.
And the 10% of people who watch past the first game never watch past the second.
Well, and the ones that do watch past the second were in that round.
Yes, yeah, they everyone watches their own matches, which is true. So my name is Zachary Evans. There's a very good chance you know who I am already. This is Brandon Hodge. I mentioned earlier that you were back visiting. You've been here previously, but hadn't been here in a couple weeks, so good to see you back.
Oh, absolutely. It's
in action.
The environment here is so good.
It is very fun.
It
is a very fun place to have your imaginary wizard battles.
You know,
one of the best.
There's no other places I'd rather have wizards and elephants fighting in a swamp.
So that is time. But we'll talk briefly about this Naya deck. You saw this Naya deck piloted by Brandon Hart last week. I believe he played in our quarterfinal matchup, and they did chop the top 4, so he was in the final round there. Basically, it's all the good cards in these colors. I'm trying to pull out some big ones, but predominantly it's this guy, which I think a lot of people have forgotten about. Magic kind of goes in like these cycles of what's chic and what's popular and what's not. Huntmaster has never stopped being a good card. It's so good against the aggro decks that have sprung back up. It gains 2 life. It gives you 2 bodies to block. Super relevant. Another card that he's playing that not a lot of people have been playing is Loxodon Smiter. which
That's unbelievable how, a 4/4 for 3 that can't be countered and has another ability. It's so amazing.
Yeah, the fact that it can't be countered is pretty relevant. He's playing, if I'm not mistaken, is he playing all the mana guys?
Oh, yeah.
Or at least 6 or 7 one-drop mana accelerants. So he's basically your turn 2 play most of the time. There is the aforementioned Avacyn's Pilgrim and Arbor
Actually,
Elf.
I believe it only plays 4 Avacyn's Pilgrim.
But it might not play the Arbor Elf, but he is playing Farseeks, because he's not necessarily trying to get to 3 on 2 so much as he's trying to get to 5 on 4. What is he trying to do with 5 mana? I imagine you can put that together on your own.
All the possibilities.
Imagine you can put that together on your own, but I will slog through here and try to find them. Basically, it's these, as Garrett Meadows said last week, which I believe is a Ruben Bressler term, Thunder Buddies for Life, which is Thundermaw, Hellkite, and the aforementioned Thragtusk. Probably the best 2 cards at 5 mana in the format.
In playtesting, I got I'm not sure what my life was, and my opponent entreats the Angels for 10.
Mm-hmm.
He is at 4. My top deck was Thundermaw Hellkite.
Taps them all,
and
blast in for the win. This guy, also pretty good. Not a lot of shenanigans in this deck, but a 3/4 flash is just really good. If you get to blink your Thragtusk, I mean, great.
It plays well with others.
Yeah, it's just pretty good by itself. We're playing Selesnya Charm in this deck.
That's actually the one I want to spend a little bit of time on. Selesnya Charm in this deck, and a little bit of experience I have with it, is an all-star in this deck. I mean, it just does everything the deck needs it to do. The +2/+2 is for a win. Round 1. Destroyed a creature that had ethereal armor on it. That got big enough to kill me.
Yeah, all 3 modes are very useful. Make a 2/2 knight. Has vigilance. The fact that you can flash that out, it's a combo trick. It's a good end of turn thing to do on their turn to force through the last bit of damage. Yeah, just the mini giant growth. Brandon actually won a game last week on camera where he was dead on board, but because he had the charm, he got just enough damage to win.
Was it him last week that kept a 5 card no land hand and won?
That was a couple weeks ago, I think, and he kept it might have been a 4 card no land hand.
Magic's easy when you're lucky.
He ran good. And then this card, which it used to be $50. It used to be the only card in Standard that mattered. Not nearly as good anymore because you're not picking off a bunch of mana dudes on turn 1 like you used to be with all the Naya, Bug, all the pod decks. But it's still a heck of a top deck. I think he's playing 2? No, 3? Is he playing all of them?
Oh, I believe there's a full grip of Bonfire in the deck.
Yep.
There's a full
all
grip.
4 bonfires.
Because you need all of them.
When 1 is not enough, so there you go.
And I believe it was right before the top 8's at state. It was like you said, the only reason I was playing any cards is because they won't let me play all the lightning bolts I can. So
just trying to address the chat here for a few minutes. Question: is this a Pens jersey? Absolutely, Sidney Crosby jersey. This was my Christmas present last year from my wonderful wife. Someone talking about one of our loyal viewers, James, I believe. He said he's coming into the Huntington area over the next month or so. Going to try to swing by one of the stores. Obviously, I recommend that. Very highly. Another individual, Morphman86, said he was watching on YouTube and now has come over to the stream. We definitely appreciate that. That is nice to see the cross-promotional opportunities there.
And the South Charleston store is the one that's closest to Huntington?
Yes. Yeah, it is about 40 minutes from downtown, I'd say. The other ones are Parkersburg and Beckley Princeton, which are considerably farther. Let's pile through the sideboard real quick on this. Brandon's got 2 O-rings, which are basically catch-alls. I'm fine with O-ring. Obviously, you can't play Tension Sphere, so play O-ring. He plays 3 of these, Nevermore. I don't know if I agree with 3 of them, but he did win a game last week because of Nevermore. I do like the access to 1 Nevermore because there are some matchups where just shutting down a specific card is very relevant, but I'm not a big fan in a deck like this of diluting my deck too much, because it is a ramp deck, and there are some draws where you're just going to draw your ramp and not have any business anyway. The last thing I want to do is put a lot of non-interactive cards or non-aggressive cards in
I mean, it's good against Terminus and, things that just shut you down, but I'm like you,
Two max for me.
If this was my deck, I don't know if I'd run any of them.
The one did a lot of work last week. I like the one. He's playing a full complement of Knight of Glory, I imagine for the zombies matchup, anything with that. He's playing 3 Rest in Peace.
And if I had to do the sideboard over again, it would be a full grip of Rest in Peace. Cut one of the Nevermores for sure.
Yeah, and then there's only 3 of these guys, which I think I would swap out for the last one. Centaur Healer. In the matchups where Centaur Healer is good, he's very good. Centaur Healer also very relevant, in my opinion, comes in a lot against the control matchup because it's just another body, and that's what you want.
And it's very good against the mono red, which a number of people are running.
Yeah, there's a lot of Rakdos in this room. There is every week. So, off to a good start tonight, Brandon. You are 1-0. Just 4 more rounds to slog through, and then the eventual top 8. Not sure what the prize payout will be this week, but should be pretty good. There's the posting of the pairing, so you need to get
Hopefully
out there.
I will see you again.
Feel free to pile back in here when you have a chance. There is JB. JB, sorry you didn't win your inaugural feature match, but...
the key to not winning is to keep the worst hands possible.
Okay. That's a good strategy.
And never give you a chance at all. It's a good...
Magic pro tips from James Roberts. So let's look...
I'm cheating here.
Let's help Brandon find out. You're playing table 2. So Brandon's playing at table 2. We will take a quick break, and I'm going to tell you right now the same thing I've told you guys in previous weeks. For whatever reason, the stream has been pausing when I switch back to the feature camera. There's only 22 people watching, so I guess it's not that huge a number because most of you will be dedicated enough to come back. But it will pause. It is not stopped or gone away. And for whatever reason, my computer hangs up and then Twitch hangs up. So I'm going to switch back to the camera, go find you a feature match. If the stream does pause, which inevitably it will, just refresh and we'll be good to go on the back side of that. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with another feature match.